Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming back to This Chick Budgets. If you're new here, my name is Elle. I am in my mid-40s. I live with my husband. My kids are grown and already out of the house. So this channel is just about us getting out of debt, managing our home and all of its expenses, and saving for our future. If that interests you, please make sure you subscribe and like this video. I would greatly appreciate it. So we are going to get into our February budget. Now this video is late. I was sick last week. I don't know if you can hear it. And we had a lot going on. And this is our budget for February. So we already did, actually later on in this video, because the actual budget portion of this video I did before this part, and I have my pay dates wrong on that video. So our pay dates for this month are February 13th and February 27th. So I will have to go ahead and change that later. Just wanted to let y'all know. We are going to pay the very first paycheck, which actually was almost the last day of January. Last day of January. And that paid for everything in the beginning of February. So that paid our mortgage, and we have all of these expenses to pay for before we get to our next payday, which is going to be this Friday. Like I said, I have to change what's on the budget as far as dates. I can edit that in, but this is going to cover us until February 12th. All right, let's get into the budget, y'all. All right, y'all. This is the February budget, that we are doing. I did do this last week. We had a lot of last minute things come up, and to boot, I was very sick last week. So this video is a little late, and it is one of our easier budgets. So we got $29.22 as income this pay period, and I brought in an extra $100. So our income for the first paycheck of February is $3,022. And this is our pay period where I don't really put money into our sinking funds, or we don't pay a lot of debt, primarily because our mortgage is the big bulk. So I don't split this up because we don't have enough time in between paychecks. They only give us 12 days, which it would be considered late, and I would tack on a whole bunch of charges. So I just left this alone, and this is all coming out at once at the very beginning of the month. So we have $2,094 for our mortgage, and I am expecting that to increase a little bit in May. Our electric bill was $238, and our solar loan is $262. That's pretty flat, as well as my car loan of $189. Our subscriptions that came out were Amazon Prime of $17, Paramount for $13, and we have an identity theft subscription that we pay $55 for, and my buffer of $50. So all in all, my expenses this period was $2,918. And that's pretty standard every beginning of the month. We don't really put money away because this is a middle of the month section. I set aside $10 for tolls, as we often have to go into the city to get my mother-in-law. And I don't have any debt payments, and I have $94 left over that I chose to put in our emergency fund. Now, our emergency fund is something that, we pull in and out. Our auto is when my husband needs repair on his truck, or when my car needs something. His truck is a lot older than my vehicle. My vehicle, knock on wood, has not had any issues other than a radiator last year and brand new tires. So his truck is a lot older and is always needing repair. It is diesel. So that is something that is also in and out, but not as frequent as our emergency fund. And our savings, I'm trying to get our savings to where we don't touch it at all. So that's the difference that we kind of designated each of these three. And the extra $94 that I have left over is going to go into our emergency fund just in case we need it. I just went grocery shopping. We have everything that we need. I don't have anything left to buy until the next time we get paid. So that brings us down to a zero budget. I have nothing left over. So we allocated every dollar. My expenses were $2,918. Our spending is $10. Our debt is $0. And our savings is $94. And that takes up our entire check of $3,022 for the entire month. I did go over some of my spending last month. I never really did this, y'all. This wasn't something that I was initially ever interested in doing, and I thought I was on top of my bank accounts pretty regularly, as I'm pretty much always in them. And what this exercise taught me and the things that I've learned from spending a couple extra moments and really tracking my spending, because I'm stubborn. If I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do something. And it's always been, oh, I don't need to do that. I'm in my account every day. I don't need to do that. I'm good. But then you look at your income and you look at how much you've saved and you're like, where did it all go? Like, I couldn't pinpoint where it all went. So last month was the first time that I legitimately sat down and really tried to input all of our spending. And it was eye-opening. It was very, very eye-opening. Now, part of our expense tracker is going to be a little wonky because we went through a lot last year. And we went through a lot last year primarily because our youngest son, who does very, very well financially, by the way, got into a roommate issue. And life just got so hard for him last year, and everything was like a snowball effect. Unfortunately, he made a mistake, and now he's got court and suspended license and everything else to go along with it. Poor kid. Was totally his own fault, granted. But we've all been there. We have all been there. Going to a restaurant after work, I just need to freaking breathe. I just need to chill, have some time to myself. And it caught up to him. So, well, it didn't catch up to him, it caught him. So, yeah, so now his car is in the shop and the kid needs to get to work. For 23 years old, our son makes more money than my husband. Very, very good job. He has a work ethic like no other. And this mistake has hindered him significantly. So you're going to see things on my expense tracker like transfer to kids. This is because he needs an Uber to work. And it's either Uber or electricity. I mean, it's bad. So I know everyone will have their own different opinion. He's young. He made a mistake. We've all been there. We're just trying to get him to a point where he's self-sufficient and helping him along the way as much as we can. There's also paybacks in here. So we do get some of this money back. Not all of it. But it was eye-opening nonetheless to see where our extra dollars went outside what is on my budget. And it was eye-opening to see, for example, how much we actually spend on date night. You know, you think in your head you have $100, okay? But yet all these little things add up. And I had no idea that we even spent this much. And yeah, I think that was the most eye-opening thing, was how much we actually spent. Because every once in a while my husband will pay and he'll pull the wrong card and it'll go on the credit card and then I'll have to pay it back, which is fine. But this was a little, oh my gosh. So we have to rein that in, and I have to rein that in. We did get half this back. But it is something that I didn't account for because I never know if he's going to get a ride or not. You know, and at his age, it's really, really hard to rely on somebody else. And he lives smack dab in the middle of the city, can't walk to work. So it is what it is. So all in all, this is where our money went. We have 3.4% in subscriptions, which was a little bit eye-opening also because, where did it go? Oh, it's on next month. It's on my month for February. The Shave Club. This comes out every 3 months, and I had totally forgotten about it. So that came out, that it was unexpected and it's not part of my budget. So going forward, it will now be part of my budget. So that was something that I was able to get out of that. And everything else pretty much matched, except those few things. So I did learn something from this exercise, and that alone really solidified that this was important. And you never know until you try. So this is something that I really want to stick with and really hone in on to help me further hone in on my budget. So all in all, we spent 3.4% in subscriptions, 54.9% in bills, 6.2% in groceries, 4% on date night, which is astronomical to me, 9% or 0.9% on animals, 8.2% on other, which is high because of these, 17.9% on debt, and 4.4% on savings. So, like I said, this was really eye-opening. I got to track everything that came out of my account and actually put it on paper. And what's nice about this little spreadsheet that I made is I can even add something. Let's just do $100. And like, you'll see like this bills, right? If I choose bills, boom, it's already added, and it already adds. So I figured out how to do that, and that was cool. So all in all, this is where our money went in the month of January. We had $5,905 from our main W-2 income. We were reimbursed or paid back $100. I rolled over $22 from the previous check. Side hustle, I brought in $200, giving us a January monthly income of $6,227. And so far for February, we have $3,022. So all in all, this month is looking okay. The whole Uber ordeal with my son should only last about another few weeks, and then that will be taken care of. So, yeah, we weren't able to put we weren't able to put away money this pay period, which is totally expected. Next paycheck, we will pay all of our other expenses as well as pay debt, spending, and also savings. So I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out. I did learn a lot this time around, made some changes, and moving forward, we'll implement those changes. And that's just the name of the game. You morph your budget as you go along. Nothing in your budget is written in stone. Think of your computer, your iPad, your phone, your spreadsheet, whatever you're using. Feel like it's written in pencil. because it can always change and it can always be adjusted. And for me, I'm very regimented, and that's been the hardest thing that I've had to learn throughout this process, is that it's okay. It's okay if things change. It's okay if I went over. It's okay if I spent too much. I just have to do it different the next time and make changes, you know? So that is all in all our February. I don't really have anything going in our savings challenges. I'm going to try to do that next check. So yeah, we're looking pretty good. I hope I have those dates right. I'll have to double check. But yeah, that's it. I hope you all enjoyed this budget. I will see you next time when we do the middle of the month, where we can tackle a lot more fun things and see where our whole month adds up and see where we're at. Until next time, bye y'all.